It's your boy Sid, and welcome to another Speak Your Mind All the Time. Guys, we told you we'd be back. We're one short today, but there's a reason behind it, but I'll let G. Bush be the one to tell us why Trent is not with us. But huge shout out to Trent, man. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I got my co-host, like always, the man, Superman of all Supermen, Jay Tuck is in the building. And of course, we got Garrett, G. Bush, back in the building to talk about the dominating. I have to say the dominating win against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm calling it out as it is. But before we get started, I want you guys to let everybody know where to find you. Jay Tuck, I'll let you start first, man, and then we'll let our guests kick in. So Jay Tuck, let them know where to find you.
Well, I want to say this, man. We had a great time Saturday night with G. Bush and Trent, man. And, I like these guys and I love their channel. Because if I didn't, I would not be on this show right now. I was going to keep it 100 with y'all.
You didn't want no problems.
Yeah,
he was like, yo, I'm cool.
Yeah. So, if this was to happen like with Philly Notion, I'm not coming back to talk about this game, man. But you guys know the drill, man. You can find me on CowboysFansOnly.com. I'm Cowboys Fans Only on the website, YouTube channel, at Twitter at JTuck151, and also on the Fan to Fan Network, FanToFanNetwork.com.
Yeah, man. Thanks for that, man. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay, man. I'm 100% with you. G. Bush, man, let them know where to find you. Please don't take any cheap shots. Just
hey, man, listen, man. I'm playing. I'm on injury reserve, but you know what I'm saying. Veterans come out and play. Either I'm sick or I just was screaming about touchdowns or the game got out of hand. Man, it's your boy G. Bush, man, of the Barbershop, man. I'm playing. We one man down. Shout out to my brother Trent, man. Of top 5, but he actually wasn't even at work today, man. Trent don't get caught out here playing hooky, but he couldn't go today, so I'm gonna pick up his slack. But you can check me out every single Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on the Barbershop. You can stream that live with the radio.com app. Also, you can check me out on the radio.com app on the Browns pregame show. We host that with Jonathan Peterlin, Anthony Lyman, Ken Carmen. You can check that out every single Sunday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. all the way up to the kickoff of every single Browns home or away game. And then you can check me out on my YouTube page, GBush91, and that's the Barbershop page. Just search it, and GBush91 on Twitter. So you know what it is. Thanks for having me back, fellas. And you know what it is. It's all about stand-up guys and saluting and talking about the game. You know what it is, man. It's solid this way.
Yeah, man. Guys, thanks for tuning in to Speak Your Mind all the time. Like I said before, my name is It's your boy Sid. You know who I am. Definitely find me on Dallas Cowboys, the number 4 life. Subscribe to my channel. Go check these guys out. Subscribe to their channels. I'm going to have that in the description below. And when I flip the screen over, you'll see their YouTube channels listed under their names like I always do. So definitely check us out. Our Twitter information is right there right now, live under all our names. So definitely subscribe. Go follow us on Twitter. I follow everyone back. I don't write as much as Jay Tuck does, but I follow and I throw a few comments.
God, man.
Yeah.
That's my mind travels sometimes throughout the day, man.
Yeah, man.
That heat.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the one to say it. And I know Jay Tuck's probably going to agree. Congratulations on a dominating win. You guys came out, not just your offense, but your defense as well. Another loss for you guys, though. You guys did lose your running back for the next 6 games. So that's a devastating blow. But let's get right into it. So for me, I'm going to go straight to Jay. Because I caught a little bit of your post show, but I didn't want to watch your post show because I knew we were doing ours today. So I said, I want to keep it fresh. So Jay, tell me where you think the Dallas Cowboys went wrong yesterday, besides our defense. Because for me, our offense was huge, dominating. And we came out to work yesterday, our offense. Dak killed it yesterday. So what killed it for us?
Yeah, like I said, first of all, hats off to the Cleveland Browns. They came out and played traditional style power football. And like I said, Saturday's show, the game was going to be won in the trenches, and they won that matchup on both sides of the ball. And that typically tells you how the NFL games will go. But like I said, Saturday, man, we spoke about the offense, how explosive it is. Defense, we have a lot of question marks. Special teams, I feel like Mike McCarthy and Fossil watermelon kicking the ball when we were down by 3 points,
Yeah.
seeing how Dallas Cowboys had the momentum, seeing how our offense was moving, you would have put the Cleveland Browns in a predicament where they had to really decide how they wanted to handle the next 3 minutes. And by doing that, giving them the ball at the 50-yard line, they were just a few plays away from being back in field goal range anyway. So I do not understand it. I think Mike McCarthy even came on himself today and says if he could do it over, he would have rethought that. But it's just one thing I spoke about, being too aggressive on special teams is costly. Now, granted, there's a lot of things that went wrong before that, but I feel like that was a critical point of the game. And I knew it was going to happen because once we scored that 2-point conversion, I saw Fossil and Mike McCarthy over speaking back and forth. I was like, what are y'all talking about? Just kick the ball down the field and let Cleveland start the 25-yard line. What are we doing? And so I feel like that was a pivotal moment. Then, of course, Odell Beckham with the reverse. But you got to think about it. Cleveland set that play up early in the game. So I think a lot of our safeties were hesitant to bite up because they already got beat with the Odell Beckham Jarvis Landry throw. And so they were cautious and they trailed a little bit. Alden Smith almost made that play. But almost. He was there. He was in a position and he almost made that play. But I think the tweets are coming out and the video starting to come out. A lot of loafing on the defensive side of the ball on that play because a lot of people expected other people to make the play. Jalen Smith expected other people to make the play. Joe Thomas expected someone else to make the play. He just ran out of bounds and dove, and they wasn't really running full tilt. And when a player like Odell Beckham, if you give him that crease, he's gone, and we saw that. So, like I said, there's a lot of things we have to work on as far as the Dallas Cowboys concerned, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But these boneheaded mistakes, Sid and G. Bush, it's 4 weeks now we've been questioning Mike McCarthy's decision-making. And that's something that's a lot of Cowboys fans really need to be scared about. We go back to the first game against the Rams. Why do we go for it instead of just taking the field goal and tying the game up? Nope, we did that. Atlanta, the 2 fake punts. We go back to Seattle last week. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on that I'm starting to get concerned about. I think Dallas Cowboys fans should too.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you, man. I was really disappointed, and I was I saw a lot of tweets, and I was questioning it, and I was like, man, did that year the McCarthy took off, did that hurt his decision making, or is he looking at the analytics? I have so many questions that
I tweeted today,
frustrated.
What analytics would show you that you've run a 24-point run? There's 3 minutes left in the ball. I think it was like 3:30 left in the ball game. You have 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
So to squib kick it, like what analytics are you looking at?
Even I felt like even when the kicker did it, did you see him? Even he looked like what the hell did I just? What was that?
It almost worked the first time, and so they were like, "Well, of course Cleveland's going to be prepared for it again. Fool me once, but not fool me twice." Like, come on, like it's just simple logic that Mike McCarthy is overthinking a lot of things when it comes to these games, and it's really costing us. So.
I want to go into it, but G. Bush is like, I see him. He just wants to. All right, G. Let us have it, G. Tell me.
Nah, I just think that whole sequence reminded me of exactly what the Browns did last year. Right. And it's because the reason I'm saying that is because you look at the talent level of the Cowboys. It's not the fact that y'all don't got supreme talent. To be truthful, if you look on the field, I would say at the skill positions, they almost have more talent. To be truthful, if you look at the first 3 receivers, the running backs are comparable. You may say the Browns are a little deeper, maybe from 1 to 3 as far as the running backs are concerned, but they're just as talented. But the problem is, it's the identity. Okay, what do you want to do? What's the concrete plan of action here? Mm-hmm. And so when you start doing those type things and you look at that squib kick and you said something that a lot of fans won't take in consideration. I said coming into that game, teams should make Baker Mayfield do 1 or 2 things. Mm-hmm. Throw the ball when it counts and throw the ball when it counts. Right. And if you look at that sequence, they were up 11, right?
Right.
And Baker Mayfield had an opportunity to put the game away. OBJ hits a double move, and he's
wide open.
He airmails it out of bounds. You guys get the ball back. You go down the field. You score. You get the 2-point conversion, and now The whole world is like, and every single Browns fan, including me, you can go back and read my tweets. I even did a video and tweet. I'm sitting here, everybody's thinking, it's the same old Browns. I cannot believe they about to give up the most epic lead of all time. Right. And instead of putting that pressure on them and saying, you're going to have to make a decision at the 25, because if you go run the ball and you get stopped for a no gain or 1 yard gain, it's second down. Right. You're going to run it again, because guess what? You don't got a timeouts. If you stop them again, now it's third down. You still got the 2-minute warning. And guess what? Now Baker Mayfield has to throw an 8 to 9 yard pass, and he better complete it, or you got the ball back. Right. And he didn't do that. He gives him the ball almost in field goal territory already. Right. Exactly. Like, why would you do that? Why would you give it? What is the upside in squibbing it? Right. It's not like they're going to return the kick to the house anyway. No. Evan Hester ain't back there. Exactly. Exactly. It just didn't go. And Freddie Kitchens used to do this same exact stuff all the time. Right. It's just frustrating as a fan. It's just getting way too cute in Dallas right now, man. And it's costing his game. We can sit here from the couch and you just explain to G. Bush why that kick does not make sense. I do not understand why the Dallas Cowboys decided that. Another bonehead decision. We saw what happened in Atlanta with Terrence Steele. He got benched. We ended up moving Zach Martin to right tackle. Coming into this game, you guys have a beast in Myles Garrett. Why would you start an undrafted free agent rookie on Myles Garrett, one, and then secondly, don't give him no tight end help? None. Just let him go mano a mano with one of the best in the league. That is just purely idiotic. That doesn't make sense to me. You have to give that kid some help. But like you said, we ended up making the adjustment and moving Brandon Knight over there, which we've been saying all week. That should have been the move. As soon as we found out Tyron Smith was able to play, okay, boom, Brandon Knight, you're going over to right tackle. It was that simple. But it had to come to a point in the time in the game where Myles Garrett already had his drastic impact with the strip fumble on Dak Prescott. Why did it have to get that ugly for you to actually make a move? Yep. Why do you have to see Darian Thompson get burnt by Odell Beckham Jr. before you decide to say, you know what, we need to change it safety? So I just don't understand why we're being more reactive than proactive.
Jerry needs
to worked up back up again, man. Hold on, let me get it.
Jerry needs to pick up the phone. So with that being said, here's a frustrating thing, and people are like, I saw some dumb tweets. We should start Andy Dalton now. It's time to start him. I think you guys were better off with Jason Garrett, and I'm just like, you don't understand the dumbness. At one point, I couldn't look at my phone anymore. I didn't open up Facebook yesterday because I was getting so mad. I tore one guy a new asshole because, excuse my language, but I was like, you don't know football if you're calling out we should start Andy Dalton. You don't know football, because all Dak's been doing and Jay, please agree with me, is playing catch up the last couple of games. Everything.
I just posted the video on my Twitter at JTuck151 to shut all that down, so I'm not even going to address it with Dak Prescott anymore. They were saying that it's garbage time, that Cleveland was giving him soft coverages. He was taking everything underneath in the fourth quarter, and I showed videos of dot after dot in the double coverage, single man press coverage. Cleveland was blitzing off the edge.
The pocket was collapsing.
They were coming to kill. They weren't falling back and playing a shell coverage. No.
I'm happy. I'm just really happy because, man, I thought I was the only. I'm glad to see other people go through the same thing. Yeah. Or people would be like, think about it. I have to do blog after blog after blog, video after video of people just saying, you know what, I think we should just trade OBJ because he's just making Baker Mayfield it's a distraction. And I'm like, he's the reason you won solely today. Right. As a sole reason you won, because if you think that Baker Mayfield was going to win that game for you are sadly mistaken.
Right. And like I figured out today, man, because like I said, it's coming from my own brother, my own family. It's coming from these media with the clickbaits, man, because they don't dive deep. And so it's really a lazy narrative to say it's garbage time. How is coming? We've been taught all our lives you don't win the game until the fourth quarter. So how is what you do in the fourth quarter considered garbage time? So it's a lazy narrative that we really don't even need to address, but I'm addressing it on my show this week, man. So
Yeah, 100%. And we were talking about QBs and Baker Mayfield, and I have to be honest with you. One point they put the camera on Baker Mayfield, and he had this like, oh, I'm the best QB ever, and I wanted to reach through the TV and slap him. Because he looked a little too cocky on that sideline, and I was like, man, could somebody just hit him? Somebody sack his ass and send a message.
But that's Baker though, man.
That's
Baker.
He has the unique ability, and let's be clear. I don't want nobody to get it construed like I like Baker Mayfield. I want him to succeed. I want the Browns to succeed. If he's playing good, that has a better chance of my team playing well.
Right.
Mm-hmm. However, I've consistently explained something to people, and I'm trying to do it in the best way possible. If you believe that Baker Mayfield somehow is going to be able to go 15 of 21 for 175 yards and 1 touchdown a game and 1 pick, and that's somehow going to the promised land, you are sadly mistaken. Right. Because this game showed all too well what could potentially happen. Guess what? You got 49 points or 41 points, but you look at what he was hitting. It's just underneath stuff. Right. It's slants, 5-10-yard throws. And people forget the touchdown that got thrown earlier was Jarvis Landry. He didn't even throw that. Yeah. The other pass he threw to OBJ was on the goal line, like 3 yards. Right. And so I'm just explaining that if the progression that y'all want to see is competing at the highest level and not just being happy for yourself because you got a winning record or you went 9-7 or maybe even go to the playoffs. Right. Your number one pick, cannot be a pedestrian, hand the ball off manager of the game if you want to win championship. It just can't happen. Right. I'm sorry.
So, and you just said it, and as you notice on the screen right there, I got the QB stats because I wanted to show what made us lose. It wasn't your offense. Your running game destroyed. We gave up over 300 rushing yards. That's to me that hurt. Just hearing that hurts. Because if you look at Baker Mayfield, he only put up 165 yards. And like you said, he only threw 1 touchdown. Right. So it's not your QB that won it for you. It's your running game pretty much.
Right. The running game, and here's the thing about the offensive. The Browns' offensive line is super duper elite. Like some of the holes that they was opening up, some of the push that they was getting is I mean, it was crazy. Like some of the times they weren't even getting touched into 5 yards. And then when Chubb got hurt, you thought about, oh, well, maybe they're good. Maybe good. He's out the game. You bring Kareem Hunt in, and then you're like, okay, well, at least he's just this guy's going to get the majority of carries.
Where did Johnson?
Dearness Johnson. You like, is that Chris Johnson?
Right.
Is that CJ2K? Well, who is this guy?
Off the fishing boat.
Yeah.
Off the boat? Nah, that's unacceptable. And let me ask y'all a question. When that happens, do you kind of look at in y'all's backfield and you be like, where's our back at? Like, I want that for the guy, because when y'all was rolling, you had the offensive line, and I remember a game specifically being the AFC North guy when Zeke Elliott went into Pittsburgh and I was like, good God. Like, it was a playoff. I'm like, it was the end of the season. It was kind of snowy, and he just was unstoppable. Like, just what you do. So, like, do you feel like Zeke is kind of like being just an invisible guy now? Like, you're not using him the way he traditionally was?
You know what? My opinion about I'm frustrated with Zeke, and seeing that fumble yesterday, that hurt us. And a lot of people were saying, oh, the turnovers. Yeah, Dak had a turn. No, Dak, that wasn't his fault. To me, that's not his fault. Our offensive line is not giving him the protection that he needs, and he can't see what's coming from behind him if he's not getting protection. So that fumble that he had, I'm not blaming Dak. But Zeke fumbling because he rolled on a guy, like he always I don't know if you see it, Jay, and I really hate when he does it. He always does this twist and roll, and every time he does that, I've seen the last couple of games, that's when he fumbles. I understand he wants to get that extra yardage, but that's hurting us.
Well, what it goes back to what G. Bush has said, though. I mean, Zeke is a monster. We all know that.
Yep.
But he feel like he's being taken out of the game. Now, granted, I don't think that's due to the game plan. I think, like I said Saturday, I think we want to get Zeke involved. But due to these boneheaded mistakes,
Yep.
we have to take Zeke out of the game because we have to start passing. We're down by 15, 17 points, playing against the Falcons and Seahawks and also Cleveland, where you really can't run the ball because that's going to cut down the time of possession. And so we have to start airing it out. Now, I think Zeke does need to hold onto the ball and protect it a little bit more. But when it comes to that, what I think he's trying to do is play hero ball. It's like he finally gets the ball. It's like, damn, I might not get it again for another 8 touches. I need to try to break one. He's trying to do too much. But as far as skill set with Ezekiel Elliott, I did not see a decline. I actually think he looks a lot better than he did last year.
Yes.
It's just the opportunity it hasn't been there yet, which eventually we'll get back to Zeke football. But we also have to take into consideration, and this is why people wanted to attack me on Twitter, when we came to whole Cabo and paying Zeke. Granted, he's a dynamic player, but Dak Prescott was eventually evolving. This isn't the same rookie year Dak where he can only take the underneath throws and have to use his first read. He was evolving as a passer, and so eventually when you bring in weapons like Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and also now CeeDee Lamb, I mean, there's opportunity out there that Dak really needs to take advantage of. So I feel like when it comes to Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, we have to get back to balanced football. 50 throws a game for Dak? No, maybe 30, but then Zeke needs about 20, 25 carries his damn self, also along with Tony Pollard. So we have to get back to balance. But like I said, we've been shooting ourselves in the foot in these first quarters when that's really what's taking Zeke out of the ball game.
Yeah, and like you said, Dak throwing as much as he did. If you see, he had 41 attempts and 58. I see it completions. He had 41 with 58 attempps. Okay, attempts.
Called for.
Yeah, that's uncalled for. 502 yards. Tell me when you saw a QB, the last time a QB put up over 400 yards in 3 games in a row. Not many. And the only time
and not shredded their opponent.
Yeah. And the only time I've actually seen that is when they have nobody in the backfield and they have no choice but to air up the ball. So I agree with you, man. We need to get back to basics. We need to go back to running the ball, and we need to stop making Dak feel like he has to play catch up. Because G. Bush, that's what happened yesterday. When we got down, guess what happened? We had to play catch up.
And you think about what Cleveland did, they stuck to their game plan regardless. They were going to run the ball regardless. They were going to die on that hill.
Yep.
I'll let you go, G. Bush, but that's what Cleveland did. So.
And remember when we actually was talking about it, like in terms of, all right, keys to the game. And you said, we talked about like, okay, what do you think Cleveland has to do, to get this win? And so I'm like, you can't go in thinking, and I said, first things first, they are going to run the ball, right?
Yep.
But you need 2 big plays from OBJ. You need 2. He actually gave you 3. Right. I said you need 2 big plays from OBJ, and the reason you need them
nearly
plays,
4. Nearly 4.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Really, yes, really. And what happened was you need them because it gives you a little bit of room to keep running the ball in between those big plays. It gives you just enough hesitation so that it's in the thought. So the first thing Stefanski did, he was like, "Yep, I'm throwing the receiver touchdown pass." And then they're like, "Oh man, they came out and did that." Right. And so he's like, "Okay, now I can keep that. I got enough. I got some house money. Now I can keep running. And everybody's like, "Don't force it to OBJ. Don't force it." Well, here's the thing. 4th quarter came around, he looked around and was like, yeah, I know Baker ain't making this throw. Right. He ain't throwing nothing. Right. I know good and well he ain't got nothing left in his tank. Right. He also knew that the defense used all their stops up in the first half. When that first half was over, people could say, we got to work on the defense, whatever. He understands fully that our defense is complete garbage juice. He knows it. They play actually over their head. Like that strip against Zeke, I'm like, there's no way in heck Zendejos can get that out. And so Stefanski, when he gives him the reverse that in the fourth quarter,
oh man, that hurt.
He was like, "Oh, I ain't got nothing left." That's right. One bullet in the chamber.
Right.
That's the Saving Private Ryan when he's like on the side of that tank. He got that revolver. Right. He's on top.
I couldn't understand when I saw that reverse and I saw Alden Smith miss him. I said, "Okay, somebody's got to be around to at least finish off what Alden Smith." And I said, "Wait, where? How come he's still running?" Next end zone, and I said, "This our defense." And Jay, I think I was writing you. I said, "Can we do something? Could we stop the run? Could we put pressure on Baker? Can we just something?" And nothing.
You gotta understand, and a lot of people is talking about Mike Nolan, and granted, he needs to be under a microscope right now. But when it comes to stopping the run in the game of football, it really comes down to need and want. Like, it's really mano a mano, your defensive line versus their offensive line. Who wants it more? Can you get pressure? Everson Griffin's a no-show. Dontari Poe, no-show. Tristan Hills played great. DeMarcus Lawrence played a little bit better, but still no-show for $100 million.
Yep.
And so that's what happened. We got punched in the mouth the entire game, and we could not respond.
And so I didn't even know Griffin played yesterday.
Yeah. No.
Exactly. Alden Smith didn't have anything stand out. Jalen Smith, he was all over the place. Joe Thomas had a few big plays, but Cleveland really lined up and said, we're going to die on this hill. And shots at the Star game last night, we spoke about that. It comes down to the time right now. We're either going to be a 3-4 defense or a 4-3 defense.
Yep.
This 3-4 on one side, maybe a nickel over here a little. We're not. It's time to scrap all that. Yeah. It's time for us to line up and say, these are our best 4 players on the defensive line. This is what we got coming, and we're going to line up and play football. But now we're getting way too cute.
Go back
both
to
sides
basics.
Of the ball.
Go back to basics.
Go back to basics.
So, wait, G, before you get into that, G, I just want to reach out to a few people in the chat, man, because obviously some people are asking questions, throwing comments. Got lumps for you, paintball. Cowboys got that work. Yeah, we did. I'll admit it. Yeah. Nate Narusso, what's up? Big shout out to him, man. He's always chiming in. He's saying fire Mike Nolan and McCarthy. We're not going to go that far, but
it'll happen.
It'll happen. That kills it against the prevent defense half the time so far. True. Agree to
false. That's false. Fake news.
Fake news. Agree. Dump kick at the end. 100%. Justin Shields. I think a way to beat the Browns is zone blitz. Yeah.
That's really facts. I did a video on why he struggles against that Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Chad Tucker says, G. Bush, I'm here, my guy. Here for the real deal. Rosie Stegman says, hi. And, guys, I just want to thank everyone for chiming in. Brian Double, big shout out to this guy, man. Always checking out mine and J Tuck's channel. And Star Gang, he's always in there. I put the loss on the defense. I agree with you totally. K-Mac, what's up, man? Huge shout out, Willie Johnson, and I'll get to more people later on, man. So thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. And as you notice, we're always here, and we always come on the show, even after bad losses. And to me, this was a bad loss. We should have
Don't say always.
Yeah, well, yeah. We did a post show last week. I did a post show last week of Seattle.
That wasn't a bad loss, man.
Yeah, that was a good loss. Yeah, you're right. So yeah.
But if yesterday would have happened against Philly, man, nah.
Yeah, I ain't coming on there.
So
something came up.
I'm hoping, and G, I'll let you get into this in a minute, but Jay, I'm just hoping that if we lose against the Giants, man, I'm throwing in the towel. Just putting it out there.
Panic time? You think it's panic time?
Yeah, it's absolutely panic time.
Oh, 100%.
And I've been one of the people, and granted, we can sit back and say, look at our division. We got time to grow. We're going to get some players back. Anthony Brown, Cheeto, possibly LVE and Sean Lee and those guys back. We get Randy Gregory back soon. So things can get better. But what I'm focusing on is the mistakes as far as the decision-making with the coaching staff. I really believe that the coaching staff was going to give us the extra boost and to get us over that typical 8-8 type of season. Right now, I do not believe that. I don't believe in Mike Nolan and his defense. I don't believe in Mike McCarthy and his decision maker in critical decisions.
Yep.
Because even going for it on fourth down again against you guys, like granted we got it by a split hair to Amari Cooper in terms of a touchdown, so it looks great, but that should have easily been a turnover on downs right there too as well. And so these type of decisions, especially since you kicked out a kicker who would never miss the kick in Dallas to bring in your guy, and now you don't trust him in critical games, in critical moments. That doesn't make sense to me. And so for me, that's what I'm really worried about is the decision making. If we get into a dog fight in December, can I really trust that if it's tied up and we're playing in Philly and it's 4th down, we're going to take the field goal and walk out with the win? No, we might try to do a fake or whatever. So that's where my real concern is. And especially with this defense, the effort is starting to lack. There's still confusion. I mean, I just don't know how to fix it. And I don't think, we've been speaking about Earl Thomas. There's no Band-Aid for this. It's really not. I just don't see it.
Yeah, Brian Double says something that's so true. No execution, no containment, penalties. It's a mess.
It's sloppy football.
I'm watching these, and I'm like, can our defense be as hungry as our offense?
I don't know. I think as it comes to the point, Dallas Cowboys fans, we might got to admit some of these guys are saying as talented as we thought they are. They got the big lights, the big names. We rock Jalen Smith jerseys, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yep.
He comes out and wants to, fire off at the fans on Twitter and say F all of y'all. But okay, he got 0.5 sacks in 12 games. Don't talk to me. Talk to Baker Mayfield. Talk to Russell Wilson. Like, why are you coming at the fans? We asking very valid questions. Where did the money go?
This is exactly. Well, once again, I feel very vindicated. I feel very safe at home because this is what I think. It's a fraternity. Like we go through the same thing. Like we get people to come in and don't ask for playoff tickets when we get good. And you got guys over here who came in. We brought in guys. They come into the last stop in their career. They get the payday, get the checks. They don't be low. They loafing. That's what I'm used to.
Right.
1-16, 0-16, 1-15.
Right.
On the defensive side of the football, when you said, you're talking in terms of when you looked at it and you're like, man, these dudes is loafing, not really hustling. Why aren't they putting that effort in? Right. Well, you look at it. When somebody running the football on you, one of the things that tends to happen is this. It's like body blows. Like, when I was playing defensive line, one of the greatest teams that I ever played against was Minnesota. And I played it for a MAC team. So I played at OU. ESPN, playing D-line, we ready to go.
Right.
We playing them, and they happen to have 2 running backs by the name of Marion Barber, who played for your Cowboys, and Lawrence Maroney. These dudes came out, and they must have ran for 400 yards.
Right.
We couldn't tackle them. They was big. We came in to watch film that next day, and then coach says, guys, we're just going to move on to the next week. We're not even going to bother watching this tape.
Right.
So when you keep getting hit play after play, you can't get off the ball, pretty soon your body just mentally you think you playing hard. Physically, you're not playing hard because you just it's a disconnect. So when I see OBJ go around the corner, I'm like, oh no, they ain't gonna catch him, are they?
Yeah. Once he got around Smith, I saw that burst of speed. I said, oh man, this is not gonna be good. Jay, did you break anything in your house, man? I gotta ask.
Nah, man, because I'm starting to expect it.
Okay.
I'm really starting to expect it, man. Like I said, I wasn't even mad about the OBJ thing because after we did the kick, I was done. I was out. I was getting ready to set up for the post game show because I knew what was going to happen because that was such an idiotic moment, man. But like you said, those body blows, that used to be the Cowboys formula with Ezekiel Elliott. Wear them down. We get to the fourth quarter and Zeke eats. We've gotten away from that. But even though when we start to go into our tempo, we wore Cleveland's defense down a lot too as well. They were gassed. Both was gassed. But we bailed them out by giving them that kick at the 50. They didn't have to do much. And so.
Yeah, it was. Oh, man. Brian Double says move from Griffin and Poe. They're not cutting it.
Yeah, I agree. And like we said yesterday on the post-game show, let these young boys go in. What
yeah, man, we have nothing to lose.
Let Neville Gallimore get some reps. Let Bradley and I get some reps. Let Reggie Robinson get some reps. They can't get no worse.
They need to call it back up. They need to call back HaHa Dix.
I don't know what they're going to do.
They need to do this. I said it.
He's on your roster?
He got cut.
He got
brought
cut
him in this year and cut him.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
He didn't make the final 53.
Who made that decision with very limited practice reps on the field during a pandemic? How you evaluating Matt Quick and your secondary is getting touched?
Right.
A lot.
Right.
So Jay,
camp.
so you know who was blowing up my phone yesterday? Philly Notion. Oh,
I just saw it on the show.
Yeah. So, so Philly Notion was blowing up, and to see the Eagles beat the 49ers, they're now first in our division.
Yeah, but that's lazy, man.
Yeah, that's it. Next week, that's gonna change.
Right, it'll change. It'll change from week to week. So why are we caring about who's the lead in the division right now in week 4? You know what I'm saying?
That's
and if you go to my tweets, everyone jumped me last night again because I said Philly was going to win the game. They're like, no, they're not. I'm like, yeah, they are, because
I saw
Philly is
that.
a lot like us. Once our back is to the wall, we fire back. And I feel like last night, if the Philly would have lost that game, Carson Wentz would have got pulled and it would have been the Jalen Hurts era. So I knew he was going to show out. Just like next week, Sunday, watch us come against the Giants, hair blazing, and we'll poke our chest out a little bit. But I don't even care about next Sunday. I want to see us when we start playing teams like the Cardinals,
The
Steelers, and teams like that. So
that's when it's going to matter. So, G. Bush, man, I want to ask you something. What surprised you about the Browns yesterday that you didn't see in the previous games? Because I think OBJ definitely, he showed up yesterday. Landry showed up yesterday. Chubb was always been showing up, and now Chubb's injured. So Baker Mayfield looked good. Overall, he didn't put up much yards, but he looked good. So what surprised you?
I'll tell you what. You know what surprised me is what surprised me was I didn't think. I know the Browns was a good run team, but I didn't think, even though they're a really good run team, I didn't think that they would be able to move the ball as well as they did, right? Because, Jalen Smith is a good ball player.
But he's all over the place. I have to say he's not consistent, and he's all over the place. He doesn't know. I find sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing.
And maybe I just got caught up in the names because, I when I'm talking about people, I got to be able to go be in depth and look at their practice, go look at them in practice, look at their film, know what the scheme calls for, and then I can make an informed decision. But just looking at it from a namesake, from, Alden Smith or DeMarcus Lawrence or just whoever it may be, y'all got names, Dante Poe, but I was alarmed at the ease at which Dearness Johnson comes in and he's moving around, and I'm like, that's crazy. But I think the biggest takeaway was this. I didn't expect the amount of turnovers for the Cowboys, and I did not expect the penalties, right? The strip by Zendejos, I didn't expect being tie game 14-14 and looking like, oh, this is it. This is a barn burner. It's close. It's real close. It might go back and forth. But then it'll be 20. They go up to 41. No, I ain't seen none of that.
Yeah, man.
Nah, not without a rebuttal period. Right. Without no points, no, just 5 or 3 and outs and not generating no points. If you'd have told me the Browns would have got 49 points and Baker Mayfield threw for 150 or 160 yards, I'd have told you he was crazy.
Right.
Come on, man. And Chubb got hurt. Stop.
Yeah. Right. You know what? I was watching the game and I thought at one point I was like, oh, man, this is going to be a battle, man. This is going to be back and forth because that's what it started to become. And I said until the strip, then the fumble, then we fell behind and we couldn't stop you guys. I was like, here we go again. We're going to be playing catch up. And I know a lot of people will probably turn off the game, but in the fourth quarter, I think that was the most exciting quarter of the whole game.
Most exciting in the year. In football, period.
So,
to me.
Jay, I want to ask you, did you think that the Dallas Cowboys, if it wasn't for that kick, that stupid watermelon kick that we tried, do you think that the Cowboys had a chance to come back and get that W?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I tweeted second quarter. I said we're going to come back and we're going to make it close, but that's not the point. I feel like us putting ourselves in this predicament where we have to come back every week is not a healthy style of football. And so I knew we were going to make a comeback because I know that if you can give Dak Prescott time, he can do whatever he wants against any defense. It was just really making that adjustment. So once we took the lumps, and then once we got Terrence Steele out of there, you see how Myles Garrett was kind of neutralized a little bit more. Then I was like, okay, we can get back to playing football. But that's not the point. Us having these penalties, these turnovers, these stupid decisions, that's just not a healthy style of winning football. And once we start getting to the dog days in December, that's not going to cut it. Like I said, my measuring stick is not winning the division, and so I can say, Philly, we're a better team than y'all. No, I'm looking at the Packers, the 49ers, and the Seahawks, the Saints. We can't play like that against those teams. And if we don't get this fixed immediately, it's going to be a long season. So that's what my biggest concern. But I knew we could score and come back. I mean, that's just how I feel with this Cowboys team and the support I show with Dak Prescott. And so, but it's just like, really just saying, man, like, we need to clean a lot of cleanup. And I'm not sure what's going on at practice. Why are we not addressing these things? Like, why is Tony Pollard still bringing the ball out of the end zone consistently, getting stopped at the 15, 20-yard line? Just take the knee. Just take the knee.
Man.
Like, simplify things. You would think as a coaching staff, you would address that in the team meeting. Like, all right, special teams coach, why are we doing this? Okay, well, look at the analytics that we have for the past 4 games. It's not working. So I want you to tell Tony Pollard, just take a knee in the end zone. Cool. You got that job? Okay, cool. Defense. All right. So what are we doing? Are we a 3-4 or a 4-3? Okay, you don't know. I need a decision by Tuesday's practice what is going to be the look of our defense. Okay. That's what you have to start getting to and know what is our identity as the Dallas Cowboys. Because right now we're just a sloppy, talented team right now. That's what the Dallas Cowboys are. We're talented enough to compete with anybody in the NFL, but we're just sloppy. We show lack of dedication, lack of hustle, and I really thought that was going to be the transition from Jason Garrett to Mike McCarthy, but a lot of the same things still remain.
Yeah, I'm with you. So with that being said, man, I think that we need to leave all that behind us. Those games, to me now, Jay, I hope you agree, we need to go back to fundamentals, back to basics, put these games behind us, and I hope, here's what I hope. I obviously, and I'm going to play devil's advocate, I think that the Dallas Cowboys should come out Sunday and we should run way past the Giants and we should blow them out the water. And I hope that the Dallas Cowboys don't come into the week after against the Cardinals thinking we could do the same thing we just did to the Giants, to the Cardinals, and go out there and be sloppy, right? That's my fear about our schedule going forward, because the next 3 games, 2 out of the 3, one game we should have problems with, but everybody else we shouldn't. And I don't want the Dallas Cowboys thinking, oh, we found a remedy against these garbage teams, and then we get to these hard teams, and guess what? We're right back to where we were at the beginning of the season. So that's the issue I'm having. So with that being said, I want to know, Jay, and G, I'm going to ask you the same thing about the Browns. What do we have to do to be successful, Jay, in the next couple, not just the next 3 games, for the rest of the season? What do we need to do to start gelling well as a team?
Simple answer, find an identity. That's it. Find out who this Dallas Cowboys team will be under Mike McCarthy, what is going to be our offense, and stick with it, and roll with it and die on that hill, especially on the defensive side of the ball as well. If you want to be a 3-4, okay, well, maybe DeMarcus Lawrence is in 3-4 type of guy. Well, guess what, DeMarcus Lawrence, you might not play as much this season. Okay. Everson Griffin, I know you want to be a stand down or a 3-point stance and not be a stand up in. Well, you might not play that much this season because we're going to transition to a 3-4. Because you think about it, if we go to a 3-4, we'll have Aldon Smith, we'll have Jalen Smith, we'll get Randy Gregory back. Those guys can cause pressure. That might fit Mike Nolan's scheme a lot more than what we currently have. Make that adjustment and die on that hill. So that's what I'm saying right now is what we definitely have to do. Find our identity, stick with it, do a lot of cleanup work, and make smarter decisions in games as far as our coaching staff is concerned.
Yeah, 100%, man. G, before I get to you, man, big shout out to Bluff City Cowboys is in the building, man. Definitely go sub up to those guys. They do big things as well. Bluff City says the same thing that I said a couple weeks ago, man. Don't underestimate the Giants because we don't know. We don't know. And he said their front 7 is playing much better and their offensive skill position has talent.
Jason Garrett's coming to pick us apart too. So.
Yeah, he has a bone to pick, right? So Dorrance Armstrong is better fit in a 3-4 as well.
Right.
So
Bradley and Nye is a better fit in the 3-4. So Hey, man, the best players will win. We spoke about this last night. Dallas Cowboys are so locked in on whoever got the most money they're going to play. If they're not performing, they got to sit.
Yeah,
that's where we're at,
I'm with
especially
you.
on defense. They got to sit. DeMarcus Lawrence, I love your passion. I love your energy. But you're not performing, you got to sit. We all grew up playing sports. That's how it was. That's how it was. So.
Yeah, exactly. G, what do you see in the future for the Browns? I mean, you guys are doing good. Like, you guys have been rebuilding for the last 10 years?
Last 40.
So with
40
that
plus.
You know, and you guys are showing a little bit of promise right now. But tell me, what do you think the Browns have to do to start being more successful? And do you guys see yourselves in a playoff run?
They're 3-1 right now. And piggybacking what you said, you know, we ain't good enough to beat. And I actually think nobody in the league. There's one team that has a margin for error, and it's probably Kansas City. Other than that, nobody in the league is, and they can even come out and get beat if they get behind too much. But no other team in this league has this huge standard, 7 to 10 points where they can spot somebody. Anybody can come out here and get beat. So the Browns, they got Indianapolis. Next week it's at Indianapolis, and then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Browns can have something brewing if they can go into Indy and get a win. So that puts them at 4-1 going against Pittsburgh, and then you already know what that is with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. So and you know, Ben Roethlisberger is like 23-1-1 against the Browns. He has more. This is a neat stat. Ben Roethlisberger is the all-time winningest quarterback in First Energy Stadium history. And if you want to know, that's where we play our home games, not the Steelers.
Right.
So if you want to know how great he's been dominating us, that's it. But I think keep running the football, and you're going to be able to tell whether or not this offensive line is elite, because you lose running back. Granted, Kareem Hunt is a elite running back too. Right. But I like this, Dearness Johnson, I think, is going to be a real nice back. I like his footwork. I like it. I like what he can do skill set wise. But it just boils down to the quarterback. If Baker Mayfield continues to make strides and he starts hitting the throws and actually doing what the scouting report was on him coming out of college, which is to be accurate, which is to be a person that can put the ball on people and read coverages. If he can do that, then the Cleveland Browns are what I call a legit contender. Right now, contending to them is progression, getting to the playoffs, and that's what their goal is. But to be a contender, they need him to be a quarterback that can be somewhere from the 10 to 15 range as far as a quarterback rankings in this league.
Yeah, 100%, man. G. Bush, thanks for that, man. J. Tuck, thanks for that. Listen, I just think that the Dallas Cowboys need to start playing, like you said, playing as athletes. I think that we're seeing a lot of sloppy football. We're seeing a lot of stupid penalties. We're seeing it's just a mess. The defense is a mess, and our offense is trying to carry the team. And guess what? To win games, defense wins us games. Right. We know that. So with that being said, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Obviously, again.
So you're not going to talk about our fantasy football matchup? Never mind.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't want to touch on that because not only did the Dallas Cowboys take a huge.
I'm about the doggy by almost 70. Hold on, I might Cleveland Brown you. They don't get a new.
That's a verb now. You got Cleveland Brown.
So G. Bush, man, I was supposed to hand this guy a huge L, and I looked after the Dallas Cowboys game and I said, "What? I'm just losing on both sides of the ball today, and this."
And don't it hurt? Don't it hurt?
It hurts,
especially
man.
when you got a team and you like, man.
It hurt. But in my own fantasy, my league, I'm destroying the. I have Dak's putting up 50 points a game, man. I'm spanking people around, so I'm happy with that. G. Bush, man, listen, Jay told me about the show, and he said, "Yo, did you see the top 5?" And guys, if you haven't seen the top 5. I'm going to put the link in the description below. The setup is amazing. The show is funny as hell, man. These guys bring knowledge to music, and not just hip hop or R&B. Yo, I saw some punk rock in there. I saw some old school, like I saw white people music.
We're versatile. I really appreciate
No.
too much too kind.
Yeah, man.
Great show. Like,
Yeah.
I binge watched it Saturday. I was up to like 1 in the morning watching that show, man.
You're
So-
much too kind, man.
Yeah,
You're
man.
much too kind.
Definitely go check that out, man. J Tuck, let the fans know where to find you before we tune out.
Yeah, you can find me on my channel, Cowboys Fans Only. Got some great guests coming in. I think Big Game James is going to come in and bring that heat this week, and got a few more guests coming in, so definitely stay tuned for that. And then also follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. And then for all of your Cowboys fans, merchandise, CowboysFansOnly.com. If you join the chats, man, I drop discount codes, all sorts of stuff, man. I've been working hard, creating some new gear for y'all, so definitely stay tuned for all that.
Yeah, man, definitely. Guys, go sub up to Dallas Cowboy. Sorry, my bad. My CFO, Cowboys Fans Only. Go sub up to his channel, man. He's always bringing big things. He streams more than I do. I'm like, man, Jade's got like 7-day-a-week schedule going on, so definitely go check him out.
Have to fix that here soon.
Yeah, definitely, man. G Bush, please let the fans know where to find you. Let them know top 5. Go check that out, man. But let them know where else. And guys, I want to thank the chat. You know, guys are telling us hit that subscribe button, hit that. Yes, definitely go subscribe to all our channels, and definitely go check out G Bush's top 5, man. But G Bush, let them know where to find you.
Like you said, man, you go ahead and check out top 5, man. And top 5 is spelled TOP, obviously, F, the number 5, and then VE. You can just search that and it'll be on YouTube. Also, go ahead and listen to the radio.com app. You can use that, and you can stream the Barbershop live anywhere in the U.S. And my show, radio show, is on 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland, Ohio. You can listen to that every single Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then you can listen to me for the Browns pregame show every single Sunday from 9 a.m. up to kickoff, which is usually one on Sunday. Also, check me out on my YouTube page, the Barbershop YouTube page. And for the Barbershop gear, you can check out shop5thmerch.com, and you can check that out for all Barbershop gear. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man, guys, I'm going to have all the information in the description below. Give me time. I'm going to get all these guys' information and make sure it's in there. Thank you for tuning in to Speak to Your Mind All the Time talk show. Thank you for the chat, everybody who's in the chat, writing and letting us know that we lost yesterday. Yes, we did. We know. We took a spanking, and we spoke about this 2 days ago, and me and J Tuck were optimistic in getting that dub. I honestly thought we were gonna win. Seeing what I saw in the beginning, I was like, man, there's no way we're losing this game, and then all hell broke loose. So
we'll see the Browns again in Tampa.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy, right? like what a foreshadowing event. Like, that's crazy.
I'm sure.
Man.
I'm sure we'll see the Browns again, but I'm going to have G. Bush on the show even when we're not playing each other, because I definitely want him to come and chime in and let me know what's going on with his team, and I'm going to trash talk him when he loses to somebody. So
we'll step up and bring him on, man.
Bro, I'm going to look for you to lose a game, and when you do, I'm going to bring you on the show. so you can feel how me and J Tuck feel right now. So
man, no problem. Anytime, man.
You know
man.
To find me, man. Thanks for tuning in again, man. Guys, go subscribe to their channel. Definitely subscribe to my channel, Dallas Cowboys for Life. This is Speak Your Mind All the Time. And once again, it's your boy, Sid, and I'm out.